Late at night, millions of us sit in the dark, watching grainy, unstable footage of things that shouldn't exist. We listen to screams crackle through tiny phone speakers while the camera shakes in panicked hands. We live in an era of perfect CGI and AI-generated realism, yet we are still deeply unsettled by blurry, unverified clips of ghosts caught on a smartphone at 3 a.m. This reaction is guided by a psychological framework called the geography of fear. It suggests our terror is dictated by spatial logic, how a threat moves toward us. Our instincts categorize these fears into 3 distinct zones of proximity, mapping an encounter from first observation to final contact. Understanding these geographical zones reveals how digital pixels can systematically trigger our most ancient biological alarms. The escalation begins in Zone 1, the distant unknown. In a dense, uninhabited forest, a camper high up in a tree is woken by the sound of a woman weeping in the pitch-black woods below him. This same dread appears in the viral photo of a night bus, where a lone passenger sits with unnaturally wide, animalistic eyes and a mouth that looks more like a predator's than a human's. In this observer phase, the threat exists, but it hasn't noticed the person behind the camera. There is a clear, measurable distance between the witness and the anomaly. This distance provides a buffer. We are unsettled because something impossible is happening, a weeping ghost or a feral face, but because it hasn't engaged with us yet, our physical survival isn't immediately at risk. Zone 1 leaves the brain deeply disturbed by the anomaly, while the body maintains a temporary sense of security. The tension shifts as we enter Zone 2. At a home in Mexico, a man named Johnny records his old, broken-down pickup truck. Despite having no power or working parts, the heavy wipers begin scraping across the windshield on their own. In Argentina, Rudy Farias records shadow figures peering from behind his walls and an empty outdoor swing set moving violently while the air is completely still. This is the invasion phase. The distance has collapsed, and the unseen force is now actively aware of the observer. It has breached our personal territory. The horror here comes from the violation of physical laws within our own homes. When the objects we own behave as if they are being manipulated by something invisible, the sanctuary of the home is compromised. Zone 2 proves that domestic walls and locked doors offer no defense against an entity that doesn't follow the rules of our world. The final stage is Zone 3, direct confrontation. In the city of Gualeguay, a group of boys are chased through a dark field by a screaming entity that appears to be the legendary La Llorona. We see it again in the 2008 footage from an abandoned hut. A man opens a door to find a pale, thin creature that shrieks and lunges directly at the lens. At this moment, the distance drops to 0, the map collapses, and the observer is no longer a witness. They are a target. When something aggressively rushes the camera lens, it bypasses the logical parts of the brain. There is no time to analyze what the creature is or what it wants. In Zone 3, the footage acts as a visual tripwire. It triggers an inescapable biological fight or flight response before we can even process if what we're seeing is real. Skeptics look at these clips and see hoaxes, indie film promotions, or instances of mental illness. They search for the wires and the digital artifacts that explain the mystery away. But the objective authenticity of the footage is secondary to the psychological impact it has on the viewer. Even a known hoax can leave a lasting sense of unease. These videos are effective because they follow a specific progression. They methodically strip away our layers of evolutionary safety, moving us through each zone of proximity until we are left feeling exposed. Advanced technology has provided an intimate delivery system for these ancient, supernatural fears. We are bringing these entities directly into our most personal spaces through the devices in our pockets. No matter how much our world changes, the distance between feeling safe and feeling hunted remains only a few pixels wide.